This is an upload and execute attack within Metasploit, and it's how to basically push Dark Comet via Metasploit to a vulnerable target. Reasons you may want to do this is because you don't want to mess about with the command line too much, and you just want to get a GUI as fast as possible. So what I've already gone ahead and done, if you go back to my previous tutorials, we've fired up Dark Comet, and we've made a server, and this is YouTube 1 here. What I've now then done is got it inside my Backtrack VM here. The way I've done that is just by browsing to the share on my machine and obviously just dragging it across. So as always, we're just going to fire up Metasploit console. You can do this with Armitage, but I just prefer Metasploit console command line, as you well know by now. So we're just going to allow this to load up. Hopefully this is going to go to plan. I have tested it like a bunch of times and it's all gone fine. One prerequisite for this is you cannot have the start on Windows. Like if we're going to server module and minimus, you cannot have start this stub with Windows, otherwise it just doesn't work, it just crashes. So keep that in mind when you're making your payload, and if you're having any problems, make sure that's unchecked, otherwise obviously you're going to have some problems. We're going to be using the MSOA 067 Net API exploit. We are going against a Windows XP Service Pack 2 box here, so that's the exploit of choice. Obviously this exploit, your choice of exploit doesn't really matter here, so long as it supports a payload, because the payload we're going to be using is the Windows upexec payload, and with that we're going to push our server across. So we're going to first use Windows /smb/net MSOA _067 .net API. Pretty standard stuff. Then we're going to do use payload /windows /up exec/bind TCP. I prefer bind TCP. Ooh, I've done something wrong here. Set payload. Oops. Set payload Windows /up exec/bind _TCP. Obviously, if you did want to find out about more of them, you could just do search for up exec, and then if you run that, obviously you're going to get all the different types of up exec. As I was saying before, I do prefer bind TCP now. I used to like reverse TCP, but this VM here is actually running under a NAT, so obviously I can't do reverse across that. Obviously there's loads of all kinds of different upload and execute, but obviously we're going for this one. If we just do a show options, all we're going to need here is a rhost and then pexec, which is the path of the file we want to push across. So if we just set the rhost, this is assuming you've already done your nmap scan and got your IP, so we're just going to do 192.168.1.105, which is the XP box, and then the pexec. We're going to set pexec to root /root root desktop, and then it's YouTube1.exe. And then from there we can just fire exploit and see if this goes through first time. Hopefully it does. Nope, it didn't go through that time. If we run exploit again, as you can see, it's gone across this time, and we should. Yep, down here we've got Dark Comet wrap new user. So from here, obviously we can do the standard stuff. We can do spy functions, remote desktop, just demonstrate that it is actually a remote machine. It's been a bit slow. Might have crashed it, you never know. But what I recommend doing from here is once you've got your shell, your Dark Comet here, is load it into remote registry, I think it is. I can't remember where it is, but I recommend setting this as a remote MS config. That's what we want. We want services startup, and then we can add. No, it's registry startup, isn't it? Or services, I don't know. Yeah, then we can install a key, and from there you can install your shell so it runs on startup. So then you maintain your access, obviously. And we'll just try remote desktop again. I don't think it's working for whatever reason. If we try and browse the file system, just trying to prove it here. Wonder if we can actually make piano noises. I don't think the speakers are working on the remote machine, but we have got access there. As you can see, we have got our server connection, as you can see. But from there, I really recommend like setting it as startup so it runs separate from this, because I think if I close this it actually kills the service on the remote computer, so you need to set some kind of persistence once you get in, and then wait for them to reboot, which shouldn't be long, or you can force a reboot if you really want to. Anyway guys, that's going to be it for this tutorial. Hopefully you found this interesting and educational. I will see you next time. Bye bye.